Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and it's La Liga week 24. Atletico are the wheels starting to wobble because Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Sevilla are all chasing them down. It's one of those. I've got La Liga lowdown, represented by Ewan. Obviously, we like Ewan. He's far better than that Paco and Roman geezer. And Martin, what a great week you had last week. But first of all, before I go over to the boys, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means I'll notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And that means 08:30 Eastern Time on Monday will be Champions League. 08:30 Eastern Time on Tuesday means Europa League. And we've got money to be coming back. But prior to that, we've got some great games coming up in La Liga week 24. Also, press the link in the description. That'll take you over to articles read by either Martin or Tan or Alex. But every single sport that we cover on SBR is accompanied by plenty meat on the bone with parlays and knowledge. And knowledge is El Rey. And those of you who speak Spanish, that is, it's king. Okay, Martin, I'll come to you. You should have a big smile on your face. You had a great weekend last week.
Yeah, I got 5 out of 5 correct last week, which was really pleasing to see.
Yeah, it was needed.
I thought I was sort of treading water in the Premier League, and all my profit from La Liga, which was great. I don't know if it's because have a bit more distance from it. I'm a bit less emotionally involved in La Liga, and I can maybe analyse some of the games in a bit more of a clinical, stats-oriented way. But whatever reason it was great to see, and pleased to be racking up a bit of profit. Hope it continues.
Ewan, welcome back. Is it we doing a lot better in La Liga? And I'll put the records up in a minute and you'll see they're like chalk and cheese from the last time you were on. But is it because the consistency with the Spanish sides is there for us to sort of trust?
Yeah, it might be that. I mean, last weekend, for example, the top four all won, and that doesn't actually really happen all that often. So usually somebody's dropping points along the way. So yeah, I think the fact that Atletico are just, going on full steam ahead, the chasing pack know they need to win every week, so they're doing so. So yeah, you get a few of the favourites are starting to consistently win, and I think a few of the La Liga parlays are coming in more recently because you can start to trust the bigger sides, which all season hadn't really been the case.
Yeah, Sevilla win to 0 has been one of my favourites. With Atletico letting goals in as well, you're getting Atletico to win and both teams to score, which is absolutely massive. Esteban, can I have a little look at the records, please? Because gone into profit. Martin now plus 11.77. You are farming it. La Liga's now only down at minus 9.86. Flash plus 2 units now. Parlay, he's coming down as well. And the total is only 5. So next week, it should be in profit. Let's kick straight off then, Martin. It's the Friday night game, and it's the informed side. Esteban, you can leave that. You can get rid of it. That's a good thing. Betis, plus 105. Majority of places now, it's only plus 100. Draw plus 220. And the team that no one can trust, especially on the road, is Getafe at plus 330. Is this just one of those on a Friday night? The majority of games, they're quite low scoring, but they go to the home side.
Yeah, and a lot of Getafe games are reasonably low scoring because the goals have really dried up for them, which is really disappointing to see for their fans because they've got pretty good range of strikers and they can rotate up front, but that competition for places hasn't really worked for them at the moment, and gone 4 games without scoring, which is really worrying. They're quite a solid, disciplined side whenever I watch them, Getafe, and I think maybe some of the results have been a little bit harsh. They have played some pretty good teams in recent weeks as well, so you can excuse them slightly. Obviously, Real Betis are doing really well. It's a bit of a clash of styles because I feel like Real Betis are more of an ambitious side that take more risks going forward. So, yeah, I can see why they're the favourites in this one, but I'm a bit nervous that Getafe are overdue a result, and they do have a bit more tactical discipline for me than Real Betis. So for that reason, I've got to pass this one.
Okay, Ewan, welcome back. Betis, they're absolutely flying at the moment. Earlier on in the season, they looked disjointed. They weren't together. But all of a sudden now, the confidence tank is at its fullest.
Yeah, they've had a good 2021. Just one loss in the league, and that was that 5-goal thriller against Barcelona. no shame in that. So yeah, they're looking good. Getafe, absolutely not. As Martin said, 4 games without scoring. Even the game when they did score before that, they scored after about 10 seconds. So really, it's pretty much 5 full games, 449 minutes without a goal. And away at Betis, it is a clash of styles. And in the past, we've actually seen Getafe do well in this game because, especially when it was Kiki Setien's Real Betis, where they just went overcommitted and Getafe could pick them off. But I feel now with Pellegrini, especially these last few weeks, Betis are just that little bit more sensible about when to go for it and when to sort of, shore up at the back. So yeah, you've got to trust Betis with this one against Getafe. The Friday night games, it's true, they often are pretty low scoring, pretty not too entertaining games, but you do expect Betis to nick this one. Maybe a safe bet is a Betis draw no bet, because sometimes these ones do finish 0-0. But yeah, Getafe just in free fall at the moment. The coach, Bordalas, he's been getting sent off pretty much every time. He's suspended, got a touchline ban for this one. He was back in the last game after just having another ban, immediately got another suspension by swatting away one of the Real Sociedad players' fingers when he came over to confront him on the sidelines. So no Bordalas drama this time. He won't be on the sidelines. Getafe in a bit of a mess. So yeah, I like Betis in this one.
Yeah, my big problem is that Betis are too appealing. I've got a real problem with it. I know the boys in the chat are saying they got Betis at plus 106. Now, if you have a side at home, in the last 6 games, they've had 4 wins, 2 draws, and the opposition have not scored in 4 games. Why is the home side now minus 140? I've got a real problem with that, and I'm thinking to myself, is this a draw at half time? Because Getafe, if they put their best foot forward, they're a match for these sides, Ewan.
No, it's true, and that's Getafe have good players. Remember, they were in the Europa League this time last year. They went to the final stages in Germany, and it's a good team. They've got a couple of nice new players with Takefusa Kubo coming in on loan, Carlos Alenia too. It's just, the recent form is what scares me about Getafe, and the fact that just they seem to be having a bit of a meltdown, leading by the coach, who's one of the better coaches I think in La Liga, but right now he's seemed to lost the plot a bit, and I think the players are following. So it's more about my concern of Getafe than my love for Betis. But yeah, I think you got to go for Betis in this one.
Well, so then that means we're looking at a gift at plus 106. Let's move on. I'm going to come to you, Ewan, because it's your side. Elche plus 280, draw plus 225, and Eibar very skinny plus 120. Do you trust your boys to go on the road and get the job done?
No, not really. And if if Jorge Almiron was still the coach of Elche, I probably would, because it had been 16 games in a row for Elche and no wins. But after their latest loss last weekend against Celta Vigo, he did the honourable thing and resigned. He was never going to get sacked because, well, his agent happens to be the owner of the club. So he did the honourable thing. He stepped aside after 16 games without a win. They've now brought in Fran Escriba, one of their best coaches in recent times. He's back at the club. And that's why I'm not too confident for Eibar. That new manager bounce is just always a little bit scary. So I don't really like Eibar in this game. I do still think they're the favourites. But if anything, maybe there's value in Elche in this game, because new manager, the mood at the club seems to be really positive this week. They've got a few players back from injury. And the odds for Elche to win, even Elche to win with a low-scoring game, maybe under 4.5 or something like that, is about plus 280, plus 300. So there's a lot of value in Elche. Maybe that new manager bounce translates into their first win in what would be 17 games.
What about Elche? Well, Elche at plus 280 just on the money line. What about Elche draw no bet? That's going to be around plus 160, Martin.
For Elche draw no bet, yeah. I think you nailed it really, Flash, when you said skinny odds on Eibar. I'd be up for going for Eibar draw no bet if the odds were better, but I can't really understand why they're such clear favourites in this game. I know that Elche haven't won a single game at home all season, and it's a real relegation clash. But like Ewan said, it's that new manager bounce, and it can have an impact. I would like to bet on Eibar draw no bet if the odds were there, but they're not. It's like 1.53 or something like that. I'm a bit worried it'll end in a draw. I'm leaning towards Eibar. I still think it's quite a lot of work to turn around a club that's in such dire straits in such a short space of time. So I do think they can get a result there, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a win or a draw. So those odds, I've got to pass this one too.
Yeah, just to leave you with this, Elche, home side, minus 120 double chance. You've got the draw and you've got Elche. I mean, it's one of those that you're not expecting Eibar to come out the traps and like score a couple of goals. So if you get draw at half time and you've got double chance Elche, then you're going to get maybe 2-1, 9-4, that's plus 225 on the away side. So you might even be able to come back and hedge there as well. But next game, I'm sure we're involved here. Martin, Atletico minus 185, draw plus 300, and Levante at plus 650. Levante scoring most weeks, confidence is high, and this is the second meeting in 4 days.
Yeah, it's a really bizarre quirk of the fixture list that they've played one another within the space of 4 days, home and away. Obviously, Levante are in terrific form. They've really, really improved since the start of the season and unbeaten in, apart from that Osasuna game, unbeaten in a pretty decent run of results. It's a really good result for them to get a draw against Atletico, but I do feel that Atletico are the bigger, stronger team. They can learn from what went wrong in that game and put it right in this one at the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium. I think we're going to see a home win in this one. Atletico get their title bid back on track. And I've just gone for a standard bet with under 4.5 goals at minus 125.
Yeah, and Baz is in the chat. He's going all out. He's going, hold on. It's been a while since Atletico win to 0, Ewan, and that's exactly where I've gone. I've gone with the Alex Classic, not even caring if there's an upset on the cards. And the Alex Classic in this game is at plus 165.
Yeah, that's decent odds. The only thing with Levante is they do tend to score, and Atletico, their past 6 games, they've conceded a goal in each of them. That's the first time that's ever happened under Simeone. First time it's ever happened for Jan Oblak. It's quite strange to see, but yeah, I do think they're going to get back on track and get the win. It's just, what kind of game is this one? It's hard to know when you have two teams who play each other back to back. You almost never see it, even in two-legged ties. There tends to be 1 or 2 weeks between them. So I'm sure Atletico learned a few lessons from the other night when they drew 1-1. They did, to be fair, dominate that game. They should have won. Don't know if you've seen that chance that was missed by Angel Correa, an open goal, and he just absolutely skied it. So Atletico were the better team the other day. Now at home, you feel that they should be even more comfortable. It's just, where do you find the value? Do you go for both teams to score? Do you go for over a certain amount of goals? Or do you predict Oblak to do Oblak kind of things, and they finally get that win to 0 after 6 games without one?
Yeah, not for me. I'm going with the Alex Classic, and I want a Classic as well. Moving on, there's a side here I just cannot trust, cannot get right. I want to come to you, Ewan, first, because I know that this game, having this team involved, Martin's not going to have a lot on it. It's Valencia at plus 150, underpriced. Draw plus 230, and Celta at plus 210. Now, Celta, we know what they're going to be all about. They will create. They will be able to pass the ball around. Will Valencia sit back and try and hit them on the break?
Well, I don't know. I think we know what Celta Vigo are all about, but in a negative sense, because there's 2 Celta Vigos, aren't there? There's Celta Vigo when they have Iago Aspas, and there's Celta Vigo when they don't. They're 2 different teams. One of them is good, one of them is not. And this weekend, Aspas is suspended. Bryce Mendes, who's been in good form, he's out suspended too. So this is why I almost trust Valencia in this one. I don't trust Valencia, but I trust Celta Vigo to be bad when Aspas isn't available. So that's why I kind of lean towards Valencia in this one. No Aspas. We know from when he was injured for about a month at the start of the year that Celta Vigo really do struggle without him. They have almost nobody that can step up when he's out. So Valencia have a good chance here at home. The manager's under pressure. He needs a win. I sort of feel like this is one of those 3 points that Valencia get that, in the end, that's why they're never quite down there at the relegation zone. You always wonder, why are Valencia not further down? I never remember them winning. I feel like this is one of those unforgettable or forgettable games where they get a win and, float up a little bit in the table and everybody moves on with their lives.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you think, how did they get on against Celta? Martin, you see both teams scoring, and is there value in the Alex Classic? But I'll tell you, I know you're not going Valencia win.
No, I'm not. I did put down both teams to score, but what's wrong with Iago Aspas now? I did not know this.
Suspended.
Just a suspension, yeah. Suspended. 1 match.
I was going to say, I didn't see him on the injury list. that does give me a little bit of doubt, but I do still think that Valencia are pretty shocking at the back. I do think they can get on the score sheet in this one. So I am still happy to stick with my both teams to score. If anything, that's probably why it's had better value that Aspas is missing. So yeah, they'll still pose a threat, I reckon. Yeah, I'm still on both teams to score.
Okay, so maybe even if you want to go with the home side, you go with Valencia and both teams to score, or Valencia and over 1.5. You're just going to boost up. I mean, if 150 is big enough for you, then crack on. There's 81 of you watching. Only 30 thumbs up. Give us that little thumbs up. Ewan's back. You know what I mean? You know we appreciate Ewan. Next game is Valladolid at plus 640. Draw plus 350, Martin. And Madrid at minus 190. And I must add, injury-ravaged Madrid. But the depth in squad, surely they turn up and they win.
Well, that's the thing with Real Madrid. Even when they're injury ravaged, they've got the big enough squad to cope with these crises, and they've got a pretty solid blend of youth and experience, which always seems to see them through some of the difficult patches. Having said that, yeah, their form has certainly been inconsistent, somewhat patchy this season. But you know, they have started to return to reasonably strong run of form in recent weeks. Coming up against Valladolid, this is a game that they really should be winning. They still should have enough firepower to get the better of Valladolid in this game, who aren't really defending to the same levels that we've seen previously, showing a lot more ambition, but conceding a lot of goals. And you'd have to fancy a Real Madrid win in this game. They've won 4 of their last 5 matches. Valladolid are in terrible form, but they never really seem to blow teams away at the moment. When they do take a lead, they seem to sit back and control the game. If you just bet on Real Madrid and under 4.5 goals week in, week out, you're in a massive profit over the past couple of years, and I'm sticking with that. I've got odds of minus 120 on it, which looks good to me.
Yeah, and I've gone Madrid -1 because I see them winning the game. If they only win by 1, I get my money back. No Benzema, I understand that, but I can see them winning 2-0.
Yeah, I can still see them winning this game. I mean, lots of absences. It's 10 players who are out injured in total, and some of them are big ones. Benzema's one of them. Also, Ramos, Hazard, Carvajal. There's some big names missing there. But yeah, you do still expect them to take care of this really poor Valladolid side. The value there for me might be in both teams to score, because Real Madrid, with most of their injuries coming at the back, they might concede some chances. They didn't concede last week, but that's because Valencia just went for a walk in the park. They didn't even try. But you can sort of see Real Madrid conceding in this one and still managing to win it. The odds for that was plus 230 last time I checked for Real Madrid to win, both teams to score. And that's happened a lot in Real Valladolid's home games. 73% of their home games this season, both teams have scored. Real Madrid on the road, it happens quite a lot too, 2/3 of the time. So maybe that's where the value is. But yeah, big injury crisis. The other one thing to point out, I guess, is that Real Madrid do have Atalanta coming up in the Champions League after this one. And we know sometimes they do take their eye off the ball in La Liga when they've got a big Champions League game coming up. But surely with some of these fringe players coming in, they'll know they just need to take this opportunity and go out there and do the business against basically the team in the worst form in all of La Liga right now.
Yeah, listen, I can't see Valladolid scoring. She could go Madrid win to 0 because everyone will be expecting Valladolid to actually get a goal. Plus 160 Madrid. If you want to press the button early against Atalanta next week, I see them winning. I see some of them mysterious injuries disappearing and they come back full of beans. Move on, because I want a price on this, because I've been thinking about this game. I've been saying for weeks now, Ewan. It's Barcelona minus 550, draw plus 800, and Cadiz at a massive plus 1900. Now, Cadiz, how do you let Athletic Club go 4-0 up after 52 minutes? The pin has properly burst a Cadiz balloon. I thought Barcelona -3 on the Asian handicap. Martin, I'm going to go to Ewan. Can you get me a price on Barcelona -3, please?
Sure.
Ewan, Barcelona, did they score 5? They could. I mean, Cadiz. This is the thing about Cadiz. When the whole team's out, they can go the whole way, keep a clean sheet, get a win. But when they concede that first goal sort of early on, they just collapse. We've seen it so many times. We've seen it at the start of the season. They lost 4-0 at Atletico, and then in their past 4 games, all of them they've lost. All of them they've conceded at least 3 goals. So when they concede early, they just collapse, and you could sort of see that happening at the Camp Nou. The only concern you have is you have to wonder what kind of mood will Barcelona be in after that thrashing against PSG the other night. I almost see them coming out determined to prove a point, or sort of coming out knowing that their season's now over. I'm not quite sure what Barcelona you're going to see. Maybe this is one of those ones where you bet in play. If you see Barcelona score early on, get on it quickly and then bet them to win by quite a few, because we know that when Cadiz concede one, they just give up and they end up conceding 4, 5, maybe more.
Yeah, Martin, I think they win. Maybe I think they score 5 minimum. I think they score 4. I think Messi gets a couple, but now Ewan's just throwing that in that they might be sulking.
I think they might be sulking, yeah. I've seen this sort of thing before with big teams that get thrashed in Europe, and they sort of come out at the weekend and they win, but they don't win convincingly. It's almost like they're embarrassed to be strutting their stuff against such lesser opposition after they've just been absolutely ravaged in the Champions League. So, yeah, I feel like we could see like a 2-0, something like that here. I don't really like this game at all from a betting perspective. I don't really like what I've seen from Spanish teams in the Champions League and Europa League this week. It's been disappointing. I mean, what's the Spanish press reaction been to it, Ewan? Because I know they're quite they have quite shouty headlines and stuff when things go wrong. So have they been appalled by this showing from Barcelona, from Real Sociedad?
I think round about full time in Real Sociedad's big loss to Manchester United, they were preparing all the witch hunts, all the headlines, all the La Liga's dead, and then Villarreal went and won at Salzburg, and Granada beat Napoli 2-0. So that sort of gave them something to be happy about. But yeah, a big concern this week that some of the Spanish teams were just so easily dismantled by teams that you kind of felt they could even have beaten. So yeah, a bit of a concern in Spain over that.
Yeah, what is actually going on in Barcelona? Because you look at that defence and they've got no legs. Surely there's got to be an overhaul. Are we expecting that in the summer, that they're going to look at it and go, hang on a minute, we are now becoming very susceptible to any team, and I mean any team, that has any pace on the break?
I mean, that's exactly it. The centre-backs in that PSG game was Piqué, who, fair play to him, he pushed to come back from a ligament injury in his knee, came back under 3 months to play that game, but he was basically playing on one leg, and you know, you got to remember as well, he's the older side of 30, and then Lenglet, who's just having a terrible season. That first Mbappe goal where he's just standing still, he's like a training cone for Mbappe to nudge it to one side and hit it in. They do have some youth, I guess. I really like Ronald Araujo. He's young, fit, a bit more energy, but he's injured at the moment. And they keep talking about signing Eric Garcia to have another bit of youth. So I think you're right. They're planning to overhaul the defense. The problem is, the other night, the biggest game of the season, they had Piqué and Lenglet playing there, and it could be that same partnership at the weekend. But against Cadiz, I don't think they'll have too many problems.
Martin, we've been saying for a while that they struggle with creativity in midfield, and now they're struggling to control games as well.
Yeah, it has been difficult for them. I was really tempted to go for. I was really tempted to go for PSG to win it when I was betting on it. I think in the end I did go for just both teams to score, so that came in. But I suppose it was quite difficult. They came up against Mbappe, who was just in terrific form, and we know that they've got problems defensively. And Mbappe kept dropping back deeper into midfield and getting the ball and just charging at their defenders, and they didn't have an answer for it. Yeah, there's clear need to overhaul that squad in the summer. I don't know if they're going to have the financial firepower to do it, but there's a definite need for an overhaul there. And maybe someone will sign Mbappe. Maybe if Real Madrid could sign Mbappe, and you know, like the summers when they used to go Galactico on everyone, that could be a real statement of intent that La Liga's back. But right now, yeah, you have to say that a lot of the world's best players are playing elsewhere, and Messi looks like he wants to leave Barcelona and go to Man City or PSG in the summer. So, yeah, there's a bit of work to do from a marketing perspective, I guess, from La Liga. But they could surprise us. You know, Sevilla could come back, beat Borussia Dortmund, go on and win the Champions League.
I think they will. I think they're winning. It'll be interesting. Are they going to be able to play in Germany though, Ewan?
Yeah, I think they will. I mean, the problem with the games that couldn't take place in Spain was more there's restrictions between the UK and Spain. So that's why a couple of the games got moved, the Chelsea one and the Man United one. But no, Spain to Germany seems fine, so should take place there. And yeah, I guess that's something to keep in mind. Dortmund won away at Sevilla, yeah, but there's no fans. Sevilla could just as easily win in that big, massive, empty stadium.
Oh yeah, they could win 2-0, no problem, no problem whatsoever. Because we haven't seen that type of Dortmund performance for months. Am I hearing that -3 on the Asian handicap is like +230?
It is indeed, yeah. If you go to
Wow.
the good Bet365, yeah.
+230. Win 3-0, you get your money back. You win 4-0, then you've got a nice +230. Okay, moving on. Now, this is one of those that would have been, home win. Fill your boots. Sociedad -150 after getting dinged 4 yesterday against Man United. Martin, draw +270, and Alaves a massive +530. So Sociedad, do they rebound here? And it's a gift in a parlay at -150.
It's really difficult to pick yourself up after a defeat like that. Obviously, we know that Alaves are coming from a 5-1 defeat to Barcelona as well. So both of these teams are going to be really, really low on confidence. The one, I guess, advantage you would say that Alaves have is they're going to be a lot fresher. They didn't have to play against what was a pretty rampant Man United side on Thursday night. They'll be coming into this game with certainly with fresher legs. And yeah, I've been backing Sociedad quite heavily this season. I have been a big fan of them. It could just be an aberration. Man United do that to teams sometimes. If you catch them on the wrong day, I think they can rebound. I don't want to be betting on them at -150 the weekend after they've taken a defeat like that while they've got tired legs though. So pass.
I mean, mentally, Ewan, that's it, finished. Europa League. So you could say that this is an absolute gift at -150 because all they've got to concentrate is the league.
Yeah, pretty much. They've still got that. Remember that Copa del Rey final from last year against Athletic? That's still coming up in April. But you're right. Europa League's done. They've got to focus on this and make sure they get back in for next year, or maybe even get into Champions League. But yeah, I think that's the word. They're dinged up, and physically too. They came away from that game with a few injuries, three new injuries, I think, including Alexander Isak, the striker, who was in good form the last few weeks. So. And the other thing as well, when you're looking through the past Real Sociedad scores, you might see, they lost at home to Manchester United. No, remember, it wasn't at home, it was in Turin. So they'll only have come back to Spain basically about 48 hours before this game kicks off. So they could be pretty knackered. One of the things I've looked at, even before this Thursday night game, was just the fact that Real Sociedad are one of the better teams in the second halves of games this season. They're the 5th best, and Alaves, they're the worst second half team in all of La Liga. So maybe that's something to bet on, either in play if it's a slow start, a sluggish start, which we might expect, or even just before the game to put a bet on Real Sociedad to win the second half, because they tend to do that. They have some slow starts, and because of that mental and physical beating they took, I could sort of see this being a sluggish start from them, but they maybe come back in the second half.
And if you fancy Sociedad, you could go maybe draw half-time Sociedad, full-time, or maybe over 0.5 goals in the second half, or even if you're braver, over 1.5 in the second half. Now, I was so close to pressing the button on the home side here. Huesca at +130. Now, who would have thought that they would be +130, Ewan? Draw +225. But Granada are a massive +270. Up until last night, when Granada looked like, they're a side that we want to be with, but we haven't been able to be with them because they've been so inconsistent. Now, all of a sudden, Huesca are +130. Who would have thought that? But they are having a go. Maybe both teams to score and the over.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one, and I'm right. I really think Huesca are going to win this one as well. I really like Huesca in this one, but it's just the value isn't there. I'm quite surprised that they're favourites in this one. I guess it's because Granada were in Europa League on Thursday night. They're a bit tired. They've been poor in La Liga recently. I mean, all the reasons why I think Huesca will be good in this game, because they've been a lot improved since they changed their coach about 5 games ago. Sure, they've lost the last couple, but it was against Real Madrid and Sevilla. I really like Huesca, but then so do the bookies, and that's why they're favoured so heavily in this one. So I guess you have to look elsewhere for the value. But yeah, Huesca, maybe one to put in a parlay this weekend.
Yeah, Martin, there might be massive value here because Granada obviously have had a tough game last night. Huesca, they've been playing a lot more on the front foot. They've been pushing sides back. Now, what about Huesca? Half-time, draw full-time. That would be massive.
Yeah, I think this is a really difficult game, Flash. I was really sort of tempted by Granada at such high odds because it's rare to see, but they really do struggle after playing in Europa League in midweek. They've had some dodgy results after that, and yeah, fatigue is definitely going to be an issue. Huesca have been a lot more competitive since the big changes manager. Yeah, they've been pretty competitive against some big teams in recent weeks, Sevilla, Real Madrid. So yeah, very difficult game for Granada. I can't work it out. I've got to pass.
Okay. Well, next game, Athletic Club at plus 160, Martin. Draw plus 220. Villarreal at plus 205. Now, Villarreal, they go to Salzburg and keep a clean sheet and scored 2 in the bargain. The last few weeks in La Liga, they've just been so lethargic. They've got themselves into games and then they've thrown it away. The Athletic Club, you would say, are probably one of the most formed sides. And all of a sudden, the belief has gone sky high. And they're at plus 160 against a side who are entitled to be tired.
Yeah, well, he's a very good manager, isn't he, Marcelino? He showed that at Valencia, and he's doing it again with Athletic Club. Well done to him. Yeah, this is a good game for Athletic Club, I think. Obviously Villarreal have been to Austria on Thursday night and come back. They're going to be a bit jet lagged. They're going to be a bit tired. Athletic Bilbao full of confidence, won 4-0 against Cadiz last time out. At those odds, it's probably worth a punt. You can get plus 150, plus 160 on Athletic Club, which...
And what's draw no bet, Martin?
Does look attractive. Yeah, I'd probably be a bit more inclined to go draw no bet because Villarreal can always hit you. They've got talented strikers, So even if you're 1-0 up and you think you're cruising to victory, you get done by Gerard Moreno late in the game. What 1.78? What's that in American odds? Like minus
130.
Yeah.
Okay. Athletic Club at plus 160, Ewan. Impressive the other day, and I had them to win an under 4.5. The impressive thing for me was they didn't get a fifth.
Yeah, I mean, this is you must have been sweating that out there at the end because they started so
for 40 minutes. 40 minutes.
They just absolutely went for it, and that's the thing. They're not in Europe. They can go at it full speed every weekend because they don't have these European fixtures. So yeah, they're absolutely flying. The informed team. Villarreal, yeah, they have been disappointed. No wins in 5 in La Liga, but they do get some players back, especially attacking players. Pac Alcacer came back a couple of weeks ago. Gerard Moreno's back now too. Chukwueze as well. So the value I see in this one is goals. Over 2.5 goals is plus 130, which I think is quite generous for two teams who, even when they've not been winning, tend to score goals. Two teams that aren't known for their defences. So I think we'll have a good game, and if you go for that one, it doesn't matter who wins.
Yeah, exactly. Over 2.5 goals. You could see a 3-0 upset by the visitors, Villarreal, and you still win. Okay, last game, Osasuna plus 360. I'm getting involved in this one, Ewan. Draw plus 230. Sevilla at plus 100. I found a little plus 150, and it's Sevilla to win and under 3.5 goals.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Sevilla. They've been on this winning run until the Dortmund game, at least. This winning run of 9 in a row, and they tend to win by 1-0, 2-0. Not by much. This is a team that keeps the ball. They have long possessions. They have the players now. They have found this clinical striker somehow in the series to finish off. Papu Gomez is looking good too. So they're starting to get the goals. Remember last season they had so many games which were 0-0 because the other team never had a chance to score because they couldn't get the ball, but Sevilla didn't do anything with it. This year they're doing enough with it to win the games, but they're still not having fixtures with lots of goals. That's why the Dortmund game was such a surprise. I've not seen many 5-goal thrillers from Sevilla this season. So I think once they get back into La Liga action, that slower pace that Osasuna have compared to Dortmund, yeah, you can see Sevilla winning this one and winning it by a pretty low scoreline.
Okay, well, it's going to be 2-team parlay. Are you going? Oh, sorry, Martin, you got to go with give us a little bit on Sevilla, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm going with Sevilla as well, plus 100. I think getting that late goal against Dortmund will give them a real boost. 3-1, it was looking a bit grim, but now they can really go to Germany with a bit of belief. And Yeah, I think it ends it on a much more positive note, and they can take a bit of confidence into this game, want to build up a bit of momentum. I think they can go to Osasuna and win this one. I think they've got the squad depth to pull it off, and plus 100 on a team that domestically anyway are in such good form. I can't look past that. Sevilla win, even money.
Yeah, and just to let people know that Huesca to be leading at half-time, draw full-time, is plus 1,400. So listen, you could just put maybe a tenth of a unit on there and have a bit of fun. Now, we're going to have a little look at the picks. I think I've got my 2-team parlay already. I just want the 2 ticks from the boys. Esteban, stick up our picks, please. It's Atletico and under 4.5 goals at minus 125. Valencia, both teams to score, minus 105. Real Madrid to win and under 4.5 at minus 120. And Sevilla at plus 100. Ewan's gone for Real Betis at plus 115. Valencia plus 155. Real Madrid and both teams to score at plus 230. And Athletic over 2.5 goals in the game at plus 130. You like them pluses, Ewan. Now,
lots of value this week. Lots of value.
Really, plenty value, yeah. Madrid minus 1 on the Asian handicap at minus 110. Athletic Club Alex Classic. 1 plus 165. I'm not too sure. I'm a bit confused. I think that should be Atletico Club. Can you just check, please, Martin, if Athletic Club versus Villarreal, the Alex Classic is at plus 165, and Sevilla and under 3.5 at plus 150? Because I think that's my mistake. I think it's Atletico Alex Classics plus 165. So it's Atletico. What about this for a 2-team parlay? Sevilla to win, plus 100. Sociedad to win, minus 150. And it pays plus 250, Ewan.
Yeah, I like that. I think the odds for Real Sociedad are there partly because of what happened last night. But yeah, against Alaves, a team that they really should be beating at home, you still have to fancy them. And then for all the reasons we just outlined a couple of minutes ago about Sevilla, you've got to like them as well. So, no, I'm all for that.
Martin?
Well, it was plus 165. Yeah, that was the odds on the Athletic Club game as well. So.
Okay. So it's Athletic Club that I've wrote, not Villarreal. Not Atletico. So it's the Alex Classic, Athletic Club, and Villarreal at plus 165. I will have to go and have a little look on my computer, but I'm 100% sure that it's Athletic Club. Okay. If you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means I'll notify you. You'll never miss any content. Again, if you can press the thumbs up on the way out, even thumbs down is okay. 88 watching, 41 of you. That's not even close to 50%. Press the link in the description. It'll take you over to articles wrote by either Martin or Tan or Alex. But everybody else, every other sport is covered by an article. There'll be parlays, meat on the bone, and plenty of knowledge. Ewan, it's good to see you, mate. You're so much better than obviously Roman and Paco, so it's good to see you. Martin, I'll see you on Tuesday for Europa. Wow, Europa, there's some teams that need to do some work. But first of all, remember, over the weekend, we have the Milan derby. We have the Merseyside derby, and there's plenty of units to be picked up across the 4 leagues. You take care, and we'll see you again soon.